What's up, YouTube? Okay, I've been asked to do a video on credit, and I guess it's pretty appropriate, especially for us younger folks, because a lot of the times we're not really too up on how credit is supposed to be used. Now, some of us know, the details of it in terms of, percentages and, interest and all the other, the nitty-gritty behind credit. I don't, but I know there's people out there who do. So, you're more than welcome to, share with us your knowledge, because I definitely don't have it. But I'm more concerned about how people use it, okay? And when people should use it. Now, from my understanding, credit is supposed to be used to supplement a lifestyle that's already guaranteed. Okay, and I say that because typically, if somebody wants to buy a house, no one has, $200,000, $300,000. If you're in California, $600,000 in some bank that they can just pull out to buy a house with. They don't have it. Okay, now they have income that can support that house, but they just don't have that lump sum of money. So credit comes through and it supplements that guaranteed lifestyle. There it makes sense. Okay, that's when you really need to do it. You can use it then. But for the most part, people use credit to supplement a lifestyle that they think they're going to have. Right? I got this job, and if I get this degree in 2 or 3 years, I'll be making this much money. So it's okay for me to live that lifestyle now. Okay? So you have people who don't want to wait till a lifestyle is guaranteed, so they're going to use credit to finance a lifestyle that they haven't reached yet. And that's how it's not supposed to be used. It doesn't matter how financially savvy you are and how much you know about the credit game. You're playing with fire. All you're doing is taking a gamble. For a lot of people, it worked, right? But what happened, the economy went belly up, and these same people who took the same risk in terms of financing a lifestyle that they haven't necessarily got to yet, flopped. They flopped and everybody lost. Even the whole loan lending type industry that went belly up, they got greedy as well. In the past, to qualify, you've already had to, you pretty much have to prove that you were making enough to support the lifestyle. And all this, this loan or this line of credit is to supplement what you're already doing. That's how it's supposed to work. That's why a lot of people are upset nowadays, because they can't qualify for certain things based off of credit. Because now, right, the big banks are going back to how it's supposed to be. Giving people money or lending people money based off of what they actually can guarantee, and not off of, projections of what they think they're going to be making. Right, before the financial market blew up, what happened? Anybody can get credit, because even the banks are giving people money based off of a lifestyle that they think they're going to have, right? They're trying to get ahead of the curve, and that went belly up. Right? Of course, it's worked in the past. That's why people continue to do it. But just like all gambles, you win and you lose. Right? To me, it's like going to Vegas. Sometimes you can know all the odds, but at the end of the day, it's still a gamble. Right? You can go to school, get the degree, and be in the right company, but stuff may not happen the way you think it's going to happen. It is what it is. So you have to wait till it's guaranteed. And I know there's never, 100% guarantee, but when you're in a secure position. Let's be real. When you're in a secure position, I'm here, I'm making this amount, I'm going to be here for a while, and if you're there, then it's okay. All right, since I'm there, I can start to make major choices in my life. And buying a home is one of the biggest ones. See, I'm a believer that credit should only be used for homes and home-related expenses. I hear some people use it for cars, but I'm even against that as well. Right? I have a hard time, knowing that there's a whole industry that profits off of people's impatience. So instead of saving up to get the car, they'll get it now and end up paying more than what the car is worth, and somebody else gets rich off of that shit. Like, I can't stomach that. The house I understand, but anything else, it's I don't even know. All right, so for me, like I said before, I'm not worried about the inner workings of credits and loans and all that other stuff. I'm more so concerned with how we're using it. I have friends who are entry level, okay, and if things go well, God willing, they'll be in a good position within the next 3 to 5 years. And I have some who are doing a smart thing. They're waiting, they're chilling. Yeah, they get the offers in terms of, your credit limit is so much and your credit score is here. You can do this and you can do that. And I have some friends who are holding off. I'm like, I want to get to that money first. Right? Then once I get there and see how everything's going, then I'll start to deal with you. Right? Then I have some friends who are eating it up. 5 Series, BMWs, I'm trying to get this condo, and it's all based off of where they think they're going to be. I had one friend who was talking this, I'm trying to do this, that, and the third. 2 weeks later, find out he was laid off. People forget, right? Last one hired, first one fired, like one of those things. So he started off making good money, but he was the last one hired, first one fired. So all of a sudden, right, the 5 Series that he has is a little bit more difficult to pay, right? And it's just that mindset that has to change in terms of how credit is supposed to be used. And I say that because my theory is that it's better to do without some of the nicer items that we want, to live without debt, as opposed to having what we want and living in debt. Like, most Americans are so used to living in debt that it's not even funny. They're so used to owing somebody else. They're so used to having somebody hang over their head, sending them bills, you owe me this, you owe me that it's like not even funny to me. Like, doesn't it bother you? It irks me. It irks me to see how many people are just so content with that lifestyle. Right? There's a lot of theories out there, and one of the ones that I believe the most is the whole idea of controlling debt. Right? And most people are controlled by their debt. If you think about it. And I don't know, like, it's hard to have this conversation without branching off, into other areas. So, I'm gonna leave it here. Like I said before, I'm not the financial wizard, and I don't know if my views are, barbaric or whatnot, but it's just how I, believe things should be. So if you're out there and you have more valuable information, or somebody who does this for a living, please share your knowledge with us, because at the end of the day, we all still need to know the inner workings of how credit is, used, or how it's, constructed. We just have to know when to use it and when not to use it. So you guys take it easy. God bless.